Hey, Alan here again. Today we got a little bit of a different project, but today we're taking an interior door and we're going to make a split door out of it so that the top half closes or the bottom half will close and the top half can stay open. So you can still talk to people on the other side of the wall, but yet it acts as a barrier. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. Alright, this is the door frame that the old door was in. It's not been in here for years. So it's still got the latch hole. Still got hinge spots on it all the way down. But the door has not been in the frame for I don't know how many years. It's been stored in the basement. So now we're wanting to we've been wanting to put the door back on, but we want the option to just use it like a gate. Reason for this, we started babysitting a 2-year-old that wants to get into everything. So we're wanting to separate that room so she can't get into there. So let's go outside. Alright, so we've already pulled the door out of the basement and set it up on the sawhorses. Now I have marked, because see, it's going to have to go in this piece right here. So I've already marked the line. The problem is that line goes right through a hinge. So we're going to have to relocate hinges, one over here and then one down here. And I've got another door. Well, here's a problem I didn't think out too good. I've only got 2 sawhorses that aren't being used. So when I cut this thing in half, it's going to hit the ground. So here's what my solution is. I took 2 chairs and put them underneath. So maybe that will catch it. Well, if it don't catch it, they'll hit the ground. Yeah, we'll try it. It worked. Now I did nick it up right here a little bit. But that's okay, because what we have to do is this board is going to take up that much room. So we're going to have to cut that much off of it. So this is the thickness that I've got to cut out of the top half to make room for the shelf. Alright, so because I don't necessarily want it to be dead center on the door, I want it to be off center just a little bit for reasons that are inside the house. I'll show you whenever it's done. But that thickness that we cut out of the door is just about the right thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera down right here. Set this down to where it's sitting right on the door right here. I'm going to take my pen, mark it on the top, then go underneath it, mark it on the bottom side. Now, I've got 2 marks to show me exactly where the door is going to be. Now right down the middle of that, I'm going to go ahead and drill holes to put screws. And what I want to make sure of is that I put a screw on this side of this joint and on this side. So that this shelf will help to hold all this together in the future. Alright. So here. I went through, I measured out everything. 16 inches on the middle is a 32-inch door. I marked 3 inches on either side. And then from the 16-inch mark, I went out 3 inches each way. That puts that joint right between these 2 screws. Now I'm going Alright, we're going to go ahead and put some wood glue. What is this stuff? Gorilla Glue. Right along here. Couple screws in. Alright then, let's see here. Yeah. 1, 2. So here's all the screws in it. Not too bad. Alright, this here I bought a long time ago. I think I got it at Harbor Freight. Real cheap, on sale. One of those deals. But I'm going to try to use this bit right here. And I'm going to use it in this router. Yeah, router I've had for a long time too. I don't even remember the last time I used it. But we're going to use it, put it to use. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut in this right here. Now here's what I found. This is the hinge off of a door that's in the basement. And I said, well, I'll just be able to mark it like that and cut it in, right? Well, look at this. That stands off. So laying it flat on the table. Nah, the hinges don't quite line up. So, didn't know what to do about it. Thought I might just have to replace both hinges or reset this one the way I wanted it. But I come across this, a 1/2-inch piece of plywood set right there, sits flush under it. Now I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be done or if I'm just lucky enough to come up with something that'll work. But when I lay this one on that, now look, the hinges line up almost dead on. Maybe just a little bit off, but pretty doggone close. I think it's going to be close enough to make it work. So I've come back over here to the top. I'm going to set it 4 inches from the top to here, and I went ahead and marked everything right there. So now that it's marked, I'm going to put the router bit in and see if I can't cut that in. This is also something I've never done before. So, you guys who think that I know what I'm doing, well, we're all learning here together. Alright, there it is. Now, this goes in and it fits flush. And when we put our little piece of wood under it, that should make it spot on. The hinge pin should be in perfect line with that one there. See? So, there we go. Alright, since I've got the router already set up, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in. So, spot on. Alright, now we have it ready to go. We've got our hinges in. This is the one we just put in. Top's on, glued down. Now I did run a router right around the edge. Just rounded it over. Just make it look a little nicer. We'll have to, it's got to be cleaned and painted and everything first. But this side here is ready to go in. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the house. Alright, I've already cut in the hinge for the top part of the door and the bottom part of the door. And I'm going to use a pry bar to help lift it. And you will need help, so I have enlisted my son, Adam. But now this hinge has already been in this door before, so we're going to just line these screws up to the existing holes that are already here. Alright. This right here. Now see, this is the stop. And what's going to happen is when that comes around, it's going to hit on it. So, I'll show you what we're going to have to do there in a minute. Everything else looks alright. Alrighty. Now, right here, had to notch this out. What I wound up having to do is take the trim all the way off and cut it, because I couldn't find my hacksaw. If I had a hacksaw, I'd have just cut it, been done with it. Had to do the same thing on this side. Cut it out. Did that with a skill saw, with it still on the wall. Don't tell my wife about that. Not till after I get it painted. Now, you see here, it fits right up in that groove, and this one fits right there. And other than needing it painted, there's the bottom half. Still got to put a doorknob in. So now I'm ready to put the top half in.
That you couldn't do that.
All right, there it is.
That's true.
Now it's still got to be cleaned and painted, but and I got to get a doorknob and a latch to latch the two here together. So usually I think it's just one of those little locks like you use for a screen door. Anyway, the top opens like that.
I have to get up there. Help.
And of course the bottom opens too. So now I got to get a doorknob and a latch and the paint, and it'll be done. Alright, now we have painted the door and we're just waiting on it to dry. So we put a coat of semi-gloss paint on it, front and back. Now if we can just keep walking past it today without getting our shoulders and everything white. So as soon as it dries, we'll put the hardware on and clean all the paint off the window that I got on it. And we went and we picked up this door handle. If you see right here, it says for hall and closet, which means there's no door lock on either side. I don't need a door lock on this. I put the aged bronze, which is almost a black. Now here's the hardware for it. Real simple. Everything's Phillips head. So this is the only tool we need to put it on. Alright, here's the first piece to go in. Make sure when you put it in, the plunger is going to be sloped in the right direction. Alright, now that that's in, the next piece is obviously the door handle. Now it comes apart in two pieces and has two screws that go in. Most of the time you're going to want the screws on the inside of the door. So, at least I do. Alright, there we go. Now, I did replace the striker. I pulled off the old striker right here and replaced it with a new one because it just looks so much better. I did have to these little blocks of wood right there, they were on top and bottom, and I just used my screwdriver and a hammer and took care of the modifications there that were required to let that in. Now it sits flush and fits solid. Now, look at there. Now, how many people have that in their house? This. Alright, so here's two things that I've got to finish this up. One, we found that when this door is closed, you need a handle on the inside so that you can grab hold and open it. So, we're going to put a handle on it. Okay, last thing, the latch that goes through here. I bought these bits here from Harbor Freight yesterday for, I think, $7. Anyway, so that's what I used to put this hole in. And for the screws that hold this and these screws, if you use a small drill bit to pilot it before you put your screws in, it will go a whole lot better. And that's pretty much it. Okay, this project is done. I've cleaned all the extra where I painted all over the glass, got it done. I put a handle on right there on the top. I had to take the other lock back and get this one because it wasn't long, the other one wasn't long enough. And of course we've got the latch on now, or the handle, door handle. Now everything opens just fine. You raise the lock, there you go. It's a done job. Alright. Well, you guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you next time.